Hello everybody. Here we are again. We are back. Though I should have been back 2 hours ago, but okay. After all, I'm back right now. So let's not worry about all the things and simply go ahead. And as we were working on the project yesterday, we will continue with the same project, and hopefully we will complete that project today itself, and then we'll be moving to the next one. So it's gonna be something like that. We will even try our level best to just simply deploy that online somewhere. There are many platforms actually, so I'll be using some of them like Netflix. Okay, forget about another one is Versa for sure. What now? Let's open Notion. This is kind of my copy notes, something like that. Whatever I need is here, and if that's not here, I will be just simply searching that online. Okay, so here we are. Anything else? Vegetable is being cooked. So whenever I speak, I feel like just sneezing. Okay, never mind. VS Code. I hope I'm audible. Right. Yeah, mic is on. Let me do one thing. Come on. It's morning. I said it. It's hard to speak. Never mind. We'll just keep going. Okay. Oh, what's the reason you are taking so long? Auth user 0. This is the query parameter. Why is it saying so? Oh. Can I do one thing? Speed, speed test dot net. Let's see the speed of the internet, and then we'll be going ahead. Apart from this particular thing, I need to do something in the background. Go. Hi, I got some of the what comments, just one actually, not some of them. Somebody saying hi, so I'm also gonna say hello. Okay. Why not reply? Hello. Hi, hello. Never mind. The speed is not that good actually, but okay, it will work. It's enough for me right now. So we can just simply go ahead and continue with our stuff. Oh, download speed is done, gone. Never mind. Live is on or not? I'm just checking. You can just see what I'm going through right now. I've just simply clicked on live and just checking whether it's properly live or not, or is there any internet problem I'm facing right now. And once I'm sure that everything's clear, nothing's wrong, then I can just simply go ahead with the project. And guess what? Yeah, we are facing problems. Let me turn my camera off and then fix the error if possible. I will try to do that. Okay, we are back. Actually, let me turn the camera on and then simply go ahead. Alright, everybody, here we are. Time to start studying. And the first part is gonna be 50 minutes long. So ultimately, I think you should already know that if I sit for a longer time, my mind starts yelling at me like, "Why are you sitting for so many hours?" So it's just gonna be challenge for 50 minutes. After that, I'll take the break of 10 minutes, and then this is how I'll then come back and then start going again. I hope it's clear. Something went wrong. Really? Okay. If that really went wrong, so I will make it really wrong. Wrong. Who cares? So let's remove it from here. The VS Code is already open. Let's keep it here. We were working on this one yesterday. Things are almost quite well. But now we have to work on to-do application, and we already opened some important things like the eraser where I made the proper notes of the things. It's kind of blurry. Can I see through it properly? It's still blurry, but okay, that's alright. Okay, next what to do? Health check is here. I need to create some more routes. Yeah, and before that, app.ts, we have one router over here, one middleware router for routers, then app.use/users, sorry, /auth/users. True, actually. Once this is done, let me open it properly first of all. Then this thing is done. I will get the router soon, and then app.use/Sapajou. Let me make it even better. How? /API/v1/ something like that. This is the first version of it, so that is why v1 is written there. Don't know, but the network is still taking a lot of time. As for the remaining part, I will be getting that very soon. Let's go through controller and add the controllers. Just for an example, I need it. What to do? Okay, let's simply go ahead. What now? I have to make it, that means whatever we need on the go, we'll just simply create that. And first of all, let's go through this to-do controller or something, auth controller. What all do we need to do over here? Okay, const sign up user. First of all, we need to export this thing too. Export const sign up user, sign up, login, logout. Okay, async request response, this thing response.send sign up kaha, yes, IGN sign up user. Done. This thing is done over here. I'll just simply get some of the routers as quick as possible, but before that I need some utils. Why? Some utilities that can be helpful. That's true. Suppose I need to create a wrap async function that simply wraps it so that I don't need to use a try catch over and over. This is the first thing. I need to create error handler, and one more thing that I need to create, API response and all. So there are three things, three utilities that I have to create. So let's work on this. These are good practices. I can directly These are good practices, though I can directly create this project. But if I just use these utilities, that's actually gonna be a better way to make the things. So first of all, API error, not API error.ts. First of all, handling the errors. Mainly if there is an error, then you're gonna send the response, right? Really? The API error, what does it do? If there is an error, so I need to send that error, and the structure of that error will be decided by this file, as simple as that. Then we have another one, that is API response. If we are sending a responses, then we will be using this one. And the last one we have, and that is async handler, that I can say wrap async and something like that. Let's make it async handler name right now. Name can be anything, especially if that gives the right meaning, then you shouldn't really have any problem. Let's go with API error. This API error will be used in error, and then we will be getting these many things. So first of all, of course, let's create a class. Firstly, I will create the easy version of it, that's really easy to understand, and then I will add extra stuff. Then you will see exactly, okay, this is how things go on. Class API error, it will simply extend the class error, extends error class, and then I will just simply go ahead with the content. Okay, it will have a constructor. First of all, constructor will simply help us get the values. Well, we can use some of the methods too, getter and all, something like that, but getters and setters, but we don't really need to use them right now at least. So we are gonna use constructor over here. It will get some of the things. So first of all, I will give it status code. Okay, this is gonna be really simple version, then I will add the things. So firstly we will get status code. After that we will get message, errors and something like that. Suppose we've got status code, and this structure need not to be in this way only, but this is the most preferable one, so just that is why I'm using this. So I'm getting status code, so I'm getting message. Once the message is gotten, then what if there are some errors come on, if there are some errors, so I will be getting errors too. There is some data, I will be getting data. Again, this structure I have just noted down. So like after this I have to enter this, something like this. These are the things that I'm getting from the constructor, and then I have to do my own stuff. And I can just simply do one thing, this dot status code. Message should be given to error. Do I need to do message things? Status code. Let me do one thing. I'm using JS, something like this. The thing is that you should know how the code works, because if you keep working with that, that will automatically be in your mind. This status code is equal to status code. This thing is done. Then this dot message I will send to error only. Error is equal to errors. That should be actually errors. There can be more than one error, so that is why I'm mentioning that. A simple message will be sent. This dot data. If I need to send data, and they are in the priorities, like status codes, then message, and then errors. So this is how the priority goes, not something like that. Then this dot data is done. Data is equal to data. This dot success. Yes, success is equal to. I'm getting lots of errors. I will figure them out. And last, this dot stack is equal to stack. What is the problem? Constructor for derived classes must contain supercall. Okay, supercall it needs to contain. So okay, super, and super will get message. Property status code does not exist on API error. What? I'm not using JS over here, I'm using TypeScript. Got that? So what now? Property status code does not exist on API error. Parameter status code implicitly has any type. First of all, this status code is going to be number. Is it okay? Message is going to be a string. Is this okay? Errors. It's gonna be array of what? Errors. I'll have to take the help of AI in this one because this is the first time I'm working with TypeScript. Because if we talk about JavaScript, it's right. Now in TypeScript we need to add types. Errors. What can they be? They can be array of objects. They can be array of objects. I hope so. Data. Not quite sure, yeah. What kind of data will I be sending? Again, the data I will be sending, that will be array of objects. Success will be boolean. I will be checking that out. A boolean and stack. What will this stack section be? Let's make it string for now. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. We haven't even given some default value. Can we give it default value? Instead of giving it string, can I just simply make it like this? It's working. Can I just simply give it just an array? It's not complaining. So let's do one thing. I would like to ask it blah blah blah. I have to just simply ask the AI to optimize this code for TypeScript so that I get some idea. Once I have worked on like this thing with the TypeScript for once, then okay, next time onwards I have better idea about it. So optimize this fact for TypeScript. Let's see if the things are in my helpful for me. I'll be executing them, otherwise not. Errors. Any really? This is the optimized version of the code. Status code is number. Errors can be any. That means it could be a string. It could be an object. Okay, data can be any. Success is okay. This is kind of a universal API error that we are creating, and that is why it needs to be any. Success is going to be boolean. Stack is going to be string or undefined. That's pretty interesting. Really helpful. But the types are being declared on the top, and then the values are being default values are being set in the constructor. All these values are being saved in this one. Typing all parameters in properties now has retypes. A message is a string without a literal default used any. Status goes error data success tag. I need to just follow up some of the things. Why are we can't I type it properly using this section? Purpose of property declaration: explicitly declaring class properties like this. In TypeScript helps to define the structure and type of an instance field up front, ensuring type safety and better code manipulation. This declaration tells the JavaScript compiler the exact shape of the class instance, allowing for early error detection and during development rather than at runtime. Benefits when they are necessary. In strict TypeScript combination, for example, strict property initialization enabled equal uninitialized properties compiler, so declaration ensures that means in Java script we don't need to declare them. JavaScript, yes, in JavaScript are not done. In JavaScript we don't really need to do, but in TypeScript it's better to just mention them on the top, something like that. As simple as that. It should be simple enough. Let's keep it here. So what do we have to do? First of all, we have to mention the properties explicitly. Yeah, so they are the properties and they are being mentioned explicitly because we are using TypeScript over here. So public, the first one gonna be status code. Okay, the type of it is going to be number. We are not quite providing any value over here. Okay, this is kind of public, private, and protected. These are the three ones, so we are just keeping it public here. Talking about errors, so this is gonna be any type, and of course an array of that any type. Then again public, and then we have data, and that's again gonna be type any. Don't ask me like why are we just keeping these properties in this sequence only. We need to have a sequence, right? So that at least that data can be reliable, and that is why we have it. Public, the message we are gonna be sending, that would be at least clear that okay, we will get this thing after this thing. Boolean, public success, and done. And last but not the least, public stack. And stack can either be a string or it could be undefined, as I'm just getting from the API incorrectly extends base stack. Okay, so this stack can be either a string or something. So, and one more thing, if I just use this question mark, that means it's going to be optional. It does not need to be present, something like that. Over here status code is number. I'm again just mentioning these things in the constructor because I'm getting the values. Message is going to be like string. I don't really need to give it any default value. That's a good thing. This object thing will be converted into any because errors can be any, data can be any. Success is going to be boolean, of course. And if I want to give it any default value, so it's going to be false. Success will always be false because we are sending API error. Got that? API incorrectly extended base class error. Types of property stack are incompatible. String undefined not assignable to type. String and undefined is not assignable. This is why most of the people avoid TypeScript, but it is really useful. API error is declared, but it's simply saying that API error is declared but never used. So let me use it. Export default API error. Happy. But now type API error incorrectly extends base errors. Types of property stack are incompatible. Okay, stack is causing the problem. If I tring, yeah, stack is causing the problem. I'm simply saying that stack is optional over here, and over here I'm mentioning that it could be either string, it could be either undefined. Ensure message is set on the error prototype. Super message, this dot status code, this dot message. Ensure message is set on the error prototype. Okay, let's do this thing too. Not quite needed, but it is saying that if I just use this code, it will be set in the error prototype. But even without this thing, it would go and run well. As for this error, how can I solve it? Okay. How can I make it possible? If this stack exists, not a stack. stack exist. In that it I'll be making this dot stack is equal to stack. Oh, not really working, though it is optional, so that's alright if I make it like this. And then capture, there's one more thing that I'm gonna write over here, and that's gonna be this. I will be explaining like why this is used. Error dot capture stack trace tree. That means when there's an error, it should not capture the path of this particular file, something like that, because we are just running everything over here. Error dot capture, and then this dot constructor. I just have an over idea. I have just like an overall idea about this particular thing. Still, why am I getting this error? I had to like. What is the reason? Not really, not like this. Something like this. Why am I getting this error? Let's not take the help of AI, rather search it online. Not really getting anything helpful. Don't say this person just keeps scrolling and saying not getting anything helpful. Okay. API extend constructor message string super message. What is the problem with this one? Can I ask for AI? Big problem. This is the problem. Close it. Control I. Explain this problem. Okay. Existing code, removed this one. We still have a stack over here. Use the stack property, no separate declaration. Existing code. Removing the explicit stack declaration resolves the type mismatch. Object set prototype this.api prototype is recommended when extending built instance of n prototype chain. Give correctly in all the targets. If you prefer to give a property declaration, make it match the base type, for example public stack, and ensure it is assigned, but remove the declaration simpler and saver. Okay, it's saying that we have to remove that from there. Object.set property type of this.api error.prototype is recommended when extending build-ins. So instance and prototype chain behave correctly in all the targets. If you prefer to keep a property declaration, make it match the base type. It does not match the base type. That's okay. Let's remove it. So we are here. Status goes. They don't ting. These things are done. What else? Let's remove it from here. And so these things are done, by the way. There are some validation that I can do. This is almost done. Like more than this you don't really need, but there could be some extra things that can be done over here. So first of all, we are just simply declaring the properties over here. In the constructor we are getting them, as well as we are assigning the properties, assigning the types, and then we are actually assigning the values, real values, to constructor, and we are getting the values in constructor. Then we are assigning the real values, real properties of the class, and then we are just simply saying that if stack exists, then this dot stack is equal to stack. We are assigning the value of stack, and if there is an error, in that case I'm just using this one to just ignore this file, something like that, as far as I know. Okay, by the way, there are gonna be some extra things. Validate status code. First of all, let's validate this thing. Well, these are really extra ones that may not be really important, but if I use them, then that's better. So what I'm saying, that if status code, of course I will get a status code over here. So if that status code, I want to type of status code. I don't really know these things. It's just written. I'm just copying and pasting, but I know in the background what's happening, as I need to keep that in mind. So first of all, status code should always be a number, and if that is not a number, then we will have, of course, a problem. Second thing, if status code is not a number, then this is a thing. If status code is less than 400, because we are getting errors, and the status code of error is always be 400 or more than 400. This is also a thing. And the last thing we have to get, it should not be like more than 599. It can actually go more, like till 599 or something. It cannot be 600 and more. So status code, it cannot be more than 599. So these are the three things that we have to keep in mind. As simple as that. It should be easy, right? It should the status code should not be a number. It should not be less than 400. It should not be greater than 599. This is just an extra safety check that we are doing over here. And once this is done, then you can just simply throw an error that okay, you got this error. So throw new error. And how will you throw that? Invalid status code for API error or something like that. Invalid status code for API error. So this is just an extra thing that I've done over here. Not really needed, but recommended. Okay, so this is done. This is how we have just gone through everything, and that's it, I think, for now. Okay, there's one more thing. I can convert all the data in the JSON format, and then I can send that. Even I don't do that, still that's gonna work. So it depends whether I actually want to do that or not. And super message, all these things are clear. I can give it some proper values, like a message is okay, status code is equal, okay. I'm actually setting the message, that could be fine, okay, that's not really a big deal. This success particular section, success is already set to boolean. That means I will be getting a boolean, and if that's set to booleans, then I don't really need to worry about it. Success cannot be null. In JavaScript it could be null, it could be false, it depends. But when it comes to this thing, hey, success, will you always success is going to be by default false. That means I don't really need to mention it. So that's alright. It will be by false by default, and if it is false by default, it will be set directly like this. Then we are getting stack and this thing. This stack thing, there are two conditions that we are getting, either stack or this one. Either you can if we are using if else if, either this or this would run, that means stack or this. It doesn't really. This refers to the current error object being created. This constructor tells capture stack trace to exclude the constructor from the stack trace. If there is an error, stack will be used. If there is any stack, if there is no stack, I have to just even ask, where is that AI? Is this even right or not? I still have doubt. Is this right? Correctness of the implementation. Yes, the provided code snippet is correct. The follows this. To incorporate this into tuning to this keeps it a lightweight and even production. Yes, the provided code snippet is correct and follows the best practices for handling stack traces in a custom TypeScript class like API in Node.js environments. It prioritizes the explicitly passed stack if available, then it conditionally captures a fresh stack trace only in non-environments to avoid overhead in production where stack trace might be unnecessary for performance or security reasons. Breakdown: if a selected block assigns a custom stack string directly, one is provided overriding default behavior for cases where you want to reuse and modify using the else if condition. They will stack this to generate new stack trace on the current error instance, this excluding the constructor call from the trace for cleaner output. This is a standard way. Okay, better actually. You can even make it like this. If stack is equal to this, sorry, my bad. This dot stack is equal to stack, and this is actually going to be else if, something like that. If the stack is provided, we will be just setting that stack. If the stack hasn't been provided, then else if error dot capture stack trace. This is wrong. Mostly in production we don't get the in production we don't get stack. Is that so? So we need to generate the stack or something. And over here error dot capture stack trace, if simply tells that okay, if there is a capture stack trace, then save in this and exclude this dot constructor. That's okay if it exists. And let's see, ask this one too. What is the problem? There is this dot tag here. Okay. Tell me about this one and which one is better, previous one or the current one. I need to know the things properly. Node.js and can comparison previous versus current. The previous version LC previous node is better for most Node.js TypeScript backends like your API projects, as it optimizes performance by skipping stack trace capture in production where traces add overhead without debugging value while ensuring traces in development. It assumes Node.js context with process.env, which is reliable for server side. The current version is excels in broader compatibility. For example, your code runs in mixed environments or client side bundles, but stacks universally when available, potentially wasting resources in production. Use the previous for targeted efficiency in your Node.js setup, which switch to current only if a cross time support is needed. Okay, got that. It's simply saying, look, when it comes to production, we don't really get tray stack. Only in development we get that. So instead of using this thing, we can just simply say process. I need to practice typing process.env, and what can it be? Node environment, like what kind of environment we are in. It should not be equals to production. As simple as that. If it is not equals to production, then we will do either the stack is present. If the stack is not present, I'll check whether it is equal to production or not. If it is not equal to production, then I will capture the error. So error dot capture capture stack trace. I will capture it, save it in this. This means in this class, and this dot constructor will be ignored actually, because I don't wanna get the stack trace of this file too, something like that. As simple. Customize JSON serialization for the class. I can serialize the data too, but if I serialize the data, when I use that, I'll have to make some changes. Like just over here, I wrote this code long time ago. I serialize the data over here. Okay, things are pretty simple the way I have explained so far. This is something that I made around 2 months ago or something. So the things are same over here. You are just checking the you are validating it, you are setting the values, that's also all right. Here you are checking. At the end you are serializing. It completely depends, because right now even if you don't serialize it, it will be okay. And if you serialize it, there's gonna be just a little difference when you just use it in the main. And there is that this one should be the one. So returning response, log out user, well, not really this one. Logged in, what is this? Okay, there are many functions. This one, this one, this one. There are many to dos that are here. Register user here. Let's talk about register user. It will definitely get that serialization thing. Where will that be used? Error thing is that if any error is sent, if any response is sent, it should be handled by a middleware. That's true. That means I should worry about the middleware rather than this register user. Where is the middleware? Auth.middleware, error.middleware is here. If I just go at the bottom, then here we are just normalizing it. So a normalized error to JSON. Ultimately, we serialized it. Back then, what happened? We are using logger here. I will use logger. I know it. I can say this time. So I will be using logger too, like saving the things and all. What we are doing actually over here? Where is that error? Okay, it's here. So over here we are simply serializing the data into JSON format. Then when we actually use that, we need to normalize the data, something like that. If we don't use that, if we actually remove it from here, suppose we don't use it over here, so that means we can just simply get the data. That's it, as simple as that. And this normalized data, it must be coming from the top. And then the remaining stuff is here. I will be just getting all these things done. These are something pre-required things. At least these things should be in your project anyhow. And then the main business logic you can write. So that is why my pre-requirement things I have already written at least the best way. There are so many things that I need to improve, but okay, they are good, not bad. Normalized error, this is kind of the middleware that I'm using at the end of the code to handle all the middlewares. And normalized error, the error we are getting is the normalized error, and that error is being sent from here, and this is being serialized over here. And that is why once I'm done with all the things, I need to normalize the error I have to convert it to JSON format ultimately. Once it is in JSON format, then I can just simply go ahead. So we are serializing in JSON format, JSON serialization for this class. So the class is being serialized in JSON format, something like that, and over here we have to just simply convert it to JSON again in order to use it, as simple as that. Okay, good to know. I was about to sit here for 9 minutes are remaining. We can simply go ahead. So let's get that thing done too. Otherwise, let's do only this much, and we can just simply say that build response objects, not build a response object. Normally we will check it like what kind of data we actually get it, because unless we have self experience, things experienced on our own, it will be just some kind of information. So use customize JSON. If we are working on a project, we should learn from that too. So this is way this way we will be learning the things too, a lot of things. Use customize JSON serialization for this class. It is a to do that we have to do it, but before that we need to check the results of both. So it is a to do that we have to do. So this is the thing that we have to get done later on, but for now this should be enough. What we are getting, we are first of all simply mentioning the properties, okay, initializing the properties of the class. Once they are done, we are getting the values in the constructor. We are actually setting the type of it too, and then if needed we are giving it the default value. Here we are just simply checking the validation. So status code validation, status code validation, something like this. And then here we are simply assigning the value. Here we are checking if each tag exists or not. If it does, then okay. If it doesn't, then if we are not on production, we are on development section, then we can just simply capture the stack trace and then assigning to this ultimately this class, and then we are neglecting this particular constructor. So do not add this thing. Last thing we have to just use I have to customize the use a JSON serialization for this class. That I will do it later. Why will I do it later? Mainly because I want to see the difference. Like if I use that, so what kind of result I get. If I don't use that, what kind of result I get. So this is the thing that will be done later on. So it should be gone from here. Now response. Most of the things are gonna be same in the response too. Ultimately, what are gonna be there? So I will simply write class API response. It will not extend anything. It will just simply, again over here I will get all the things like what are they, status code, message, data, and everything. And there is a right set right way, right not way, but there is a preferable way. This is how you will be getting the data all the time. So something like that I will be mentioning over here too, as simple as that. So the data is going to be like that. Let me write that. First of all, I will as I'm using TypeScript, so I will have to mention all the properties over here. So I will be getting status code. First of all, that's true. So status code, type of status code is gonna be number. Mainly when really unexpected keyword. Public status code number. Should be fine. This is how I did it in the next year. Public status code number. Okay, I need to just go ahead and then the errors will be gone. So firstly we are getting the status code. What next? We will be getting message, just like in there, like in the error section we were getting status code. We were not mentioning message over here. Why won't we be mentioning messages? We should have mentioned it. I can mention it right now. I will check whether it's good or not at the end. Message is gonna be string. Okay, if it's check if mentioning message here is good or not. So this is again another to do that I have to do. Okay, so this is another to do. I think the color should be just the color is very crazy. This kind of color distracts me the most. It should be white or something. Never mind. Okay, so we are gonna be getting a message over here. So message is again gonna come on. It's gonna be string. Then what? We got status code. We got a message. We will get data, of course. Of course, we need data. So public data, and type of data is mainly most of the time it's going to be object if I'm not wrong, but I can make it as we have seen earlier, we can just make it any type for now. So array of any type, data is will be an array, as simple as that. So we've got status code, message, data, last but not the least. Where am I getting these properties from? I just asked the AI once, and now I have mentioned all these properties, like after this only this should come, and that is why I'm able to get that. So public and what I said last, success. It should be a boolean, and if it is a response, it's going to be true. So let's mention boolean over here. Then we will use constructor. We will get all those values again. Status code. We will specify the type of them as well. We are getting message. A message also gonna be a string. We will get data. Data will be any type. Again, I will ask AI to make it better, and yeah, ultimately something like that. Success, because if we ask AI once we have written the code, and then if we take the help of AI, it will make your code better. That means it will optimize that. That means you will learn something. Boolean. Here we have got then this dot status code is equal to, again over here you can check the status, like validate the status code whether it is right or wrong. We will get that done. So but before that, let's get the main thing done. Status code is equal to status code. This dot message is equal to this message. This dot, here we are just simply assigning the value, just simple as that. Message done, data, data is remaining, data is equal to data. This dot success is equal to success. So it's gonna be like this. I may need I will check it exactly whether it actually makes any difference or not, whether the sequence, the way we are assigning, that makes the difference or not. Let's do one thing, validate it. Validate the status code, just like we did it in API error. We will do the same thing in this class as well. So the validation will have some difference. Validation, validate status code. How will I validate? Simple. If first of all, status code should not be a number, so status code should not be a number. First of all, check particular this thing. Second, we are going through response. Response means it will always be 200 or something. So it should not be greater than 400 or something. So status code should not be greater than or equals to 400. And I think these many things should be enough. So it should always be less than 400. If it is less than 400, then that's really awesome. Otherwise, we will throw an error, throw new error. What will I say? Invalid status code for API response, as simple as that. Again, I'm looking at the message. Invalid status code. These are the things. If you know them, that's good, because understanding them is the first thing that you actually need to do, because you can create the simple classes as well. You may not specify the correct path, but that will still work. But these are the recommended things, recommended ways. So good to go. So invalid status status code for API response. Done. Getting an error. Status code. This this comparison appears to be unintentional because type, number and string have no overlap. Status. Can we make a type of status code? So type of status code. Status code is 400. 400 is not equals to number. So no, that is not a good comparison. Type of status code should not be a number. and this thing is done. Again, we can just do this thing over here too, and I'm just mentioning it in advance. Use JSON serialization. This thing will be done later on. JSON serialization for this class. Again, the same thing we did here. The same thing we are doing here. Okay, so this thing is done. Mainly in response, only this much should be enough. There are some other things. Firstly, giving some default value. Suppose if this success is here, so it will, if I'm sending the response, it will always be true, as simple as that. So I can mention it in advance that okay, this is true or something. So this thing is done, and it can be decided using the status code as well. Like I'm getting the status code, right? So what I can say, firstly I can give it some default value, and the second thing is that if status code is less than 400, as that is expected, so no doubt it's going to be true. So these are the some extra things. This much should be okay. If you go with this code, that will be alright, but if you just give it some default value by default, so that's gonna be better. So what I mean is success status code should be less than 400. If it is less than 400, then it will be true for sure, and if it is true, as we are getting the response, then things are gonna be the way we want. Only when success, what does this mean here? This dot success is tring, 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 tring. If success is available, then let that be, otherwise not. There's something that I've got. In JavaScript, what is this? अरे नहीं यार, use of it's not gonna give me the right result. Use of double question mark in JavaScript. How it works? The operator returns its right hand side. The operator returns its right hand side operand only if its left hand side operand is null or undefined. In all other cases, it returns the left hand side operand. Left hand side is returns its right hand side operand only if its left hand side is null or undefined. Okay, got that? If the left value is undefined, ultimately what do I mean? Status. Let's write it here. Success. Success is used before being assigned. Giving it some default value, will it be a good idea? Let it be. Boolean is going to be this. This is going to be Boolean. Over here, what we are doing, we are not even assigning any value in here. We are actually doing that. We are assigning the value. Can't we assign the same value over here by default? Let's make it true by default. And if we get success over here, and if success exists, that's great, let that be. And if success does not exist, then make it even more complicated, but that's alright. If status code is less than 400 or something. So if the value of success exists, if it is not undefined or not, then otherwise I will get this one. Already by default I'm assigning true over here, so it will automatically be true by default. So whether I provide the value or not, I will get true, and if I'm getting true, that means this is not needed. Never mind. So this is how we have to go ahead. And as for the message, if a message exists, then that's alright. Otherwise we can give it some default value to something like this. Not really needed, but if you actually want to give it, so yeah, you can. Status code, if it is less than 400, then the message is going to be success. Otherwise message is going to be error. Sorry, my bad. Something like this, just an extra thing. By the way, these two things are done. And last thing, async handler function is pretty much easy peasy. Export const async handler. It's easy peasy. Do it now. Okay. So it will be a function which will get a function, like a request handler, then it will return, I can make it even better, it will return another function. That function will have request, response and next. That function will execute the first function, but before that I'm gonna make it async, making it really complex to understand. I will make it simpler too. Async await promise dot resolve promise dot reject. What are you doing? Hang on. Promise dot I forgotten it. Resolve. What do we have to resolve? We have to resolve that request handler, and something like this. Guess what? This is not quite correct. Not the thing that I actually needed. So there is a function, a request handler. I'm getting it from here, request handler, and then another function that I'm creating. Why am I even using that as a resolve request handler? Catch dot error next. Wow, that's right. I never thought it to be right. First of all, if that is a promise, I don't need to use await over there. Resolve a request handler, and then it will get all the values, request, response and next. Request handler will get all the values, yeah. And then dot catch, if there is any error, so I will catch it, and I will catch the error and I will forward it. As simple as that. So this should be pretty much easy to do. The same thing over here I'm doing. There is a sync handler function, there is a request, return request next, promise resolve request handler, request next, catch, if there is catch, simply throw it, as simple as that. And even we are just we can export it by default. Why am I exporting it here? Export default async handler, something like this. Parameter request implicitly has any type. Request handler, this is gonna be a function. What is the type of function? Type of function in PS. TypeScript documentation more on function set. Function. greeter is getting a function. Okay, a dot string returns void. This is the type of the function. Request handler type, request handler type, and request handler type, it will get the whole function. It will get health check async handler. That means it is getting all these things inside it, and is it returning something? It is not returning anything. I'm giving it tall. अरे यार क्या कर रहा है? Okay, look, wait. If I don't write it here, so it is saying expected 0 arguments but got 3. Request handler is the whole function that I had back in health check. This is the whole function is the request handler, and it needs the parameters. That means I need to specify over here it can have response, it can request, response, and next. And when I specify, I have to specify the type of them as well. Ultimately, I'm not returning anything. These are just types. I will get everything done inside the function itself. So, async handler function, it is a function. Let me make it easy to understand. It could be really hard right now. Okay, I hope it is easy to understand right now. What is happening over here? This is a function that is getting a function that is getting a request function, just that is taking a function as a parameter, and then it is returning a function. It is actually returning a function, and these things, where are these coming from? Wait, it created a function, async handler. Okay, async handler gets a function as a parameter. Okay, then it returns. What does it return? It returns another function. That has these things. Still you are not executing that function. Okay. So ultimately, this is the function that's actually taking request handle as a parameter, but this is not the main function because it is returning actually this. So if we are using async handler in here, async handler in here and something like this, that means I have used async handler function. That is actually a function that's taking this whole function as a parameter that returns a function. That means that returned function is over here, and if whichever function is over here, that function gets these values, and if that function gets these values, that is why we are getting request response next over here. So ultimately async handler is used there, that is just for getting the argument. Once that got the argument, that returned this function, this returned function would be there getting all these values from the express request response next. And once this function is over here, this function will run the previous parameter that async handler got. Okay, and then promise dot resolve request handler function would be executed here, would be called here, and then if there is an error I'm getting, if there's an error I'm getting, I will simply forward the error, and then at the end of the code I will catch the error too, something like this. And this is the simplest way to understand. I can make it even complex the way I made it earlier. How about this? I like this code, but request handler function returns this function returns this. Okay, there is a async handler function, that is a function that takes a function as a parameter, that returns a function, and that returned function will calls that parameter that we got and returns a promise. Everything's fine over here too. Click done. I've used async handler over here. That's not needed, but I need to check whether it's working or not. So I need to open Postman now. Let's simply send a request. I think my server is not ready. Harry Potter. npm rundev error cd backend npm rundev. Oh, error. Source controller auth controller ts. Now it is telling me that Mr. you are using auth.control. Where is auth? Here it is auth. What is your problem? It is saying, sir, I am a request and you are using TypeScript, so you should give me a type. I said okay, Express will provide. Second response, same thing over here. So sorry, my bad. Yeah, response. These types come from Express, so I don't need to worry about this. Express handles everything on its own. Right now I should not get that either. I got another error. App.use requires a middleware function. I'm so smart that I have used a middleware, but I didn't give it any value, and because of that thing I'm getting the errors. Let's comment this and run it again. It's running. Let's see, send a request. Error. Health check is throwing an error. Wow, really? What is the error? 404 not found. Really, man, you did not find that? How can it be possible? Before using that, you were finding that, and right now you are saying you are not finding that. Okay, yeah, I have changed the path. If I have changed the path should be like this. Let's copy it from here. I make so many changes and then I forget, okay, I made that change. Then it should be like this. API slash v1 slash else check, and now it should work. Okay, server is up and running and success is true. Status code, should I send status code? I must. Should I must, because there is a response, something kind of response that I generated right now. I can use response. I just generated this class, can't I? I can. This response is here. Let's use that. This is the main benefit. Once you got the response, you don't need to send the things like that. You can make it even better. Like health check is here, and your response is sending the response. Instead of sending the response like this, let's comment this. You can use that response class that you just created. So how? Response dot status, it's gonna be 200 for sure. Dot JSON. Instead of sending this object over here, you can just simply send a response class. That means new response. It was API response. API error is here. API response is not here. That means I did not export it from there. Where is API response? API response is here. Yeah. Export default API response. We got that thing over here. Now we can simply go ahead. I was here, and then a new. We need to create new instance of that. We will give it some value, and then done. So new API response. I got it from this thing utils folder, and then over here I need to specify value. It said 3 to 4 arguments, but got 0. 3 to 4 arguments means that stack is optional. So if I just hover over it, then it is saying that these are the values: unit, status code, message, data, success. Success has already been given a value, like that is true. So it is saying 3 to 4 values, either provide 3 or provide 4. So I said okay. The first one is going to be now the first one is going to be status code, that is 200. Second is message, server is up and running. Third one is data. Any data? No data. Really? Yeah, there is no data. Am I supposed to use some data? Let's send this much only. I need to send data as well. Oh, come on, yaar, you've got to be kidding me. One more data is going to be null. It will not define data is an array. Empty array, not. Why are you driving me crazy? Health check. Health check. Data. Data is any type, right? If I'm not wrong. Data has any type. That means even if I give it some string, it should work fine. What is the error? Expected this. API is was 200. This. Oh, sorry. Why am I mentioning data over here? Something like this. String is not assignable to parameter type any. Okay, got that. Can I make it like this? Ah, good. There is no data. Oh, I can write okay. Data inside data. Health. Good. Crazy. I should not do it like this, but okay, let's see. I need to restart the server. Yeah, we are getting status goes 200, message is this, data is this, health is this, health is good, data we are getting. Crazy. Okay, success is true. Okay, but the thing, look at this, we are getting status code, then we are getting message, then we are getting data, then we are getting success true. Let's look at the sequence of the response. Here we are, status code, message, data, success. If I move success at the top, will I get the success as a result at the top? That's what I have to check. If that's the case, then I need to use that JSON serialization and all. I haven't restarted the server, have I? Okay, so it's not like that. The way the sequence you get the values in the constructor, in that sequence the result is being sent, as simple as that. So if you want to change the sequence, you will have to change this sequence. I don't want to change this sequence because why? I wanna enter status code first, then message, then data, if that is there, of course that would be there, then success. So this particular sequence is the best for input, and for the output I need to change it, as simple as that. So this way you have been getting over here, it's like that, and now there's some changes that you have to make, something like this. Now I have to apply this, use JSON serialization for this class, and then let's see what's going to be the difference between the results of it. So it was simple, to JSON, and then you have to just to JSON is gonna be kind of a block, or it is something. What is this actually? To JSON, and yeah, what is this? Because this is used to serialize the data. What is to JSON method is a special function in JavaScript and TypeScript that customizes how an object is serialized when JSON.stringify is called on it, or when it is nested in another object being stringified in an object to JSON. No. This is not what I'm asking for. It is an object. It is returning the result. Well, this is right actually. Customization how an serialized when stringify is called on it, or when it's nested in another object being stringified. If an object has to JSON method, JSON stringify invokes it and uses it to return the value typically plain. So this is just a function, another function that simply converts it to JSON, and then you can convert back it to that. To JSON custom method on them. It returns a plain object when there is only might omit key details or include unwanted ones, but this method ensures consistency. Okay, success status goes when we are actually sending the result. So we are getting success at the top. Then we are getting status code, message, data. This is how we are actually going ahead. Should we go ahead with that? Let's see how it actually gives the result. To JSON return status code. Not really, just first of all we need success. This dot success is going we have success, and then what do we need? We need a success, then status code, this dot status code, then we need a message and data. That's it. Message, this dot data. Oh, then we need data. Let's check the difference in the result. Kindly be quiet, I'm just live on YouTube. There are people actually speaking around. Whoa, there is this chain. Now we are getting success, status codes, and then data at the end. That is really good. This is what I actually needed. So congratulations, this is done. Oh, God, I'm thirsty. What now? Let's go ahead, simply keep going as long as you can actually do the stuff. Now this thing is done. Same thing I'm gonna use over here. If there is an error, I will be sending the response like I will be using that to JSON thing. JSON schema, not really, to JSON, tring. Oh, not inside it, not inside it. It should be outside the constructor. Something more. This is the constructor, and this is where I'm using it. To JSON. Okay, first of all, success. Not really, not like that. Success is gonna be this dot success. Then we are gonna be getting a status code is gonna be this dot status code. Status code. Then we need so good. Status code. Then what message? This dot message. Getting an error. Okay, sorry. We actually have to return it. Message is here. Then data. Do we need data or what? Let me check the sequence exactly. What should be the right sequence? Success, status code, message. We need errors because this is mainly for errors. So if there are errors, give me errors. I will be just getting some of the things better too very soon. So this dot errors, and lastly data. This dot data. So if in future we face some errors, yeah, so we will get it in this sequence. Why face in future? Let's face them right now. Let's check the sequence in the right way. Instead of sending this thing from here, I will send a response dot status. That's gonna be 400 for error, of course. JSON new API error, and a status code 400 message something went wrong, errors. Let's give an array. There are no errors. Data. There is no data. Do I need to specify them anyhow? Is that really? I can make the error and the data optional, so that I don't need to specify them over and over. But before that, I need to make sure whether it's actually being used or not. So user controller, I have this log out, and if there is an error, is there no error? No error. Login controller, and then there must be an error section. There is no error section. Let's go to that middleware. Where is that? Auth error middleware. Interesting. But now, how can I check the use of it? Where? It should be inside the user controller itself. Whenever I'm just trying to, haven't I used it? Try anywhere, try catch, register it. Guess what? I haven't. Wow, interesting. Okay, I have. So error message, error dot message. Wow. Data is optional. Can we make data optional? Mainly errors. Okay, up to you, up to you. API error. Data is here. Stack is optional. Success needs to be optional. I will never ever use this. I'm going to make these values optional. Is that okay? Any undefined is no. Okay. Okay, this should be fine. What is that? I'm mainly talking about the error. So I need status code, I need message, I need errors. In error, I don't need any data, I don't need even success, I don't need even stack. If there is this dot success, then that's okay. If there is not, then that's not. That is the problem. Because when we are sending it back here, we are getting this thing. So it will be decided based on status code. It could be undefined. That guess what? If there is no data, data is optional. I'm not sending data. Am I sending data? I am sending data. Do I need to specify data? Not really that important. Errors are important. Data not that important. How about wow? Success? I will show it in response, but I am not gonna send it, so it should be automatically set. So status code status code should be less than 400. Oh, that is an error. Status code if that is greater than or equals to 400, it will be set right here. Even if I don't give it over there, and then done. Let's see. Success true. Status code for message something went wrong. Error this. Data this. We are specifying data. That's okay. If needed, we can send the data too. So that should be fine. At least for now, I don't need to worry about it right now. JSON serialization. This thing is done. This thing is also done. Let's close the file. It's working. What am I doing? Just one more for errors, and then I will just write message error according health. Success code message. Error is properly error dot message equal to this one, and data. We don't really need data. In case we need, so yeah. Why is that happening? What are you actually getting? Okay, let's go ahead. So let's remove this thing from here. This is not needed. I just need to send a response. That's it. So something like this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tuding, tuding, tuding. So initially we sent the response like this. Then we created a class, and right now we are creating an instance of the class, and we are just simply giving it the value. That value is being saved in the constructor, and then that's being written in the JSON format, and then that value is being sent. As simple as that. Let's remove it from here. Not needed for now. So we are even using async handler over here. Everything's seem to be okay. We created our error handler. Not. We have to create our error handler yet. So this thing is okay. Let's get the basic things done. Sign up. Let's check whether this sign up is working or not. It's just simply saying sign up. Okay, let it be. V1 sign up. Send. User slash sign up. Send. Let's check. Dude. App. Well, guess what? This is even not connected properly. Let's create all the ones. Async handler. Interesting. Third controller. Now I have to just create all the needed controllers, and then I have to get the connection ready. Then I will be writing the business logic and all. This is something. Async handler. Why can't I get it? Okay, async handler is on here. It's being exported. That means I should get it over here, but it's unable to find it. Okay, now found it. This thing is done. So, few more functions that I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. First one is sign up user. Second one is login user. Third one is log out user. Fourth one is I'm creating a to-do application where you will be able to see your own profile. Okay. It's gonna be too much in that way. Just 3 things right now, not many. Okay. Profile. You will be able to see your profile. That's it. Not more than that. Okay. Sign up user. Login user. It will work for sure. I know that. Login user. Log out user. Get user's profile. Now you can change the password, you can delete your account. There are so many things, but the thing is that if the basic project is done, you can add more functionalities. It's just gonna be time consuming thing, and I have another project to make, so that is why these many features should be enough. Okay, for now. Let's create routes. Where is that? User. Login user controller. Let's simply clear the routes. So import express from express router is equal to express dot router export default router dot get slash let's close all the files first of all. I'll close all of them, man. I wrap and I route, something like this. Now user slash sign up. Interesting. Slash sign up. Sign up. Sign up user. I'm getting it from Azure. Okay, good. Sign up. It should be a post method actually, not get. Post method. Sign up, log in, log out, profile. Log in. Log out. Profile. It will be a get method. Okay, so these are the things over here, and then I have to uncomment this, and I have to just make another router, and that's gonna be like health check router, and then auth router. Should be fine, the path is correct, and now I can mention it over here. Auth router is here being used. If I click on this, I'm here. If I click on this, I'm there. That means it's working. First one is work. Sorry. Sign up user, login user, log out user, get profile. Well, let's give it the right name. It should not be profile, it should be get profile. Okay, so it's something like this. It's working. Get profile, done. Log out, done. Log in, done. Done. I can make it even better, this particular thing. Cannot be made better. This should be enough for now. This is already the best. Now over here inside these things we have to write the business logic, how the user will be sign up, login. But first of all, let's the basic structure be ready, and then we'll be focusing on other things. Let's talk about. So first of all, we need to create a controller. Const export const add to do. Add to do. Okay. Async handler. Async. Request response. RES. Response dot send. Add to do. Done. Copy paste. 1 2 3 4 get on the dance floor. Okay. Export const add to do. Then add to do. Then get to do. To do. I will get more than one to do. So get to do. Then add to do. Get to do. Update to do. One to do will be updated. Delete to do. One to do will be deleted. And mark to do as done. It will be marked done. So 1 2 3 4 5 should be enough. You will add to do, you will get to do, you will update the to do, you will delete to do. It should be like I think okay. Interesting. So add to do, get to do, update to do, mark to do as done, delete to do. These things are ready. Now let's go to the route. This is the route. Create directly import that router from express cons router is equal to router export default 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 router, create some of the routes. So router dot slash में क्या आएगा? Okay, hang on. It should be get slash to-dos first, router dot post slash to-dos for posting, router dot patch slash to-dos slash id for router dot patch slash to-dos slash mark done id or id slash not like this. id this way. Last delete. What should be the method for delete? Let me ask. What should be the oh sorry, delete it. हद है यार, हट. I forgot that I have one more method, that is delete. Okay, so these are the routes that are ready. Now next, get to-dos, add to-do, patch, edit, update to-do, patch done, mark to-do as done, and delete to-do, not delete. So it's ready, almost ready, the basic things. Then I need to work on middlewares, like either middleware should be there, auth middleware I have to create. Models I don't need to create, they are already created. Mail, if I want to send, I will have to get the templates ready. I will have to send the mail that okay, this is done. So a lot needs to be done, but never mind. It should not be a lot, but I'm making it a lot. The homework that I actually got, the project, that was pretty simple. Use these many things. Now I'm using those many things, and now here we are, and we have to add all these things to the front end. So ultimately, a full-fledged application is going to be ready. But okay, the thing is that while working on this, I will learn. Otherwise, what would I learn? Nothing. Okay, the last thing actually, and then I will end this live actually for now, and then I'll take a break, then I'll come back, and then I'll start again, something like this. Auth router, to-dos router, to-dos router. Now let's click on this, we are here, let's click on this, we are there. First one working, second one working, third one working, fourth one working, fifth one working. Okay, now let's send request and check whether it's working or not properly. Let's run the server again. Sign up is done. Not done. Why? It's saying it did not find that. Okay, auth/users/sign up. Not bad. Appreciate that. Auth is at users/sign up. Okay. Let's check first of all health. I should actually create different routes for them, but /API/v1/health check. Okay, this one is working. The thing is that I need to create different ones. Let's make it easy peasy. It's gonna be tedious for now. Authentication one. Okay, come on. This one is going to be like sign up. The first one is sign up. I need to duplicate it. I need 3 over here, like under authentication here. Why are you taking time, mister? One more. Okay, so the name of should be this login. Login is done. Third one, rename it, and that's gonna be like log out. These are the things, and now I have to duplicate it. Control D, done. Okay, the first one's name is going to be come on here. Not listening to me at all. I know this is the network problem that I'm facing. Add to do. Can I make that capital? It looks good. Add to do. Second one. Get to do. Aha! Wow. Get GED to do. Then get to do's, and after that update to do. Mark to do as done. And then delete to do. We can name it destroy to do. But it's fine for now. Delete it. These are the things that we actually have over here now. To do something like this, we are gonna use this auth v1/auth/user/sign up. Interesting. Sign up. This should be post. It's here. Sign up, and now we are gonna do that. Sign up user. It's working. Let's save it. Control yes. Second one is login. Okay. This one, it should be login over here, and it should be post from here. Send it. Login user. It's also working. Almost all of them would work. That's not. It's delete. Sorry, log out. Log out should be post. That's what I had to ask. What should log out method be, post or get? I was asking for delete, but it should have been for log out method should be generally post request. Okay, got that. So log out, let's make it post. This thing is here. not really, not this one. Login, let's make it log out, control S, save it, then send it, log out user working. This one, let's check, I don't really need slash v1 slash to-dos, oh sorry, slash API slash v1 slash to-dos, get request, add to-dos, gonna be post. This thing is done, send it. Error. Okay, good. देखता हूँ. Let me have a look at that. API slash v1 slash to-dos router. Oh, good job. Let's remove from to-do from here. Just v1. Let's add to-do over here. And oh, interesting. Oh, not really, not live. I'm sorry. That was my bad. To-dos. Let's send the request now. 404 not found. What are you? Oh, okay. I have to run the server again. Okay, add to do. This is working too. Get to do. Hey, where is that? Okay, to do. To do. Let's copy it simply. I should be get. Should send problem. It should not be auth. It should be just to do. Copy the entire URL, send it, get to do working, save it, update to do slash ID. Suppose ID is one over here. Okay, this should be patch. Control yes, save it, send the request. Mark to do as done. It should be like to do slash mark done slash ID. Suppose ID is one. This should be patch again. Control yes, save it, done. Mark to do as done. Last delete to do slash to do ID. Suppose that is one. This is going to be delete. Save it, delete to do. All the routes are working. Now I have to work on the middleware. Like if there are errors, so that middleware should catch the error, and then I have to start work. Oh, I hurt myself. I should start working on the business logic. So far I have been just working on the structure of the website. Okay, once the whole structure is ready, once the middlewares are ready, writing the business logic is not really a big deal. It can be just done in an instant. But writing the whole structure in the right way, so that everything's professionally acknowledged and all, so that takes time. And that is why it's better, if you are actually a coder, it's better to make a proper website that includes all types of good practices, and once those things are there at a single place, then you will be able to just get some reference from there. You will be able to get the things quickly, and this is how you will be able to make the project quickly. By the way, in this one I tried to do everything from scratch, though I'm not using a model folder over here because I'm using Prisma, and when it comes to Prisma, it's already creating this schema over here, and it is already connected to the database. I got the client is also generated, so these things are there. Now I'm gonna be catching after 1 hour or something. I'll be back live, no doubt. Never expected that this live is gonna be for 2 hours. It was just like for 1 hour or something, but yeah, it went for 2 hours continuously. I'll be going live again just after 1 hour or something. Until then, take care, have a great day ahead, and I'm gonna be catching up very soon. Take care.